Hello and welcome back to another podcast and video from Fantasy Football Scout on Euro 2024. My name is Ed, your host. You can follow me on X at _fantasy Ed. What are we going to be doing today? We are going to be doing or having a look at my first draft for the round of 16. Remember, we all get a forced upon us wildcard for the knockouts. So you can say goodbye to that group stage team that may have done you a great service, may have been absolutely woeful like mine. Whatever the case, you're going to have a wildcard forced upon you, and we get a whole new team to pick for the knockout stage of the tournament, starting with the round of 16. Now, I'm recording this on Wednesday. We don't fully yet know what the draw is going to be exactly for the round of 16, but we know enough to make some informed picks. Now, remember, we can now have 4 players from each team, and our budget goes up to £105 million. So join me as we look at my first draft for the round of 16 wildcarded team that's going to take me through to the end of the tournament. Before we get going, I just want to say please do like and subscribe to the stream. If you are new around here, please do leave a comment with your latest draft for your wildcard team into the group stages. But also to say, at Fantasy Football Scout, we've got an amazing offer at the moment, which is £39, gets you a year's access to our premium members area. It gets you all the information you need for the Euros. We get Opta stats that have come through into our members area that give you, ball recoveries, XG, XA, all the sorts of things you need from the Euros qualifiers, from the friendlies, and from the tournament itself. But also, for £39, you don't just get that. Your membership will continue into the FPL 24-25 season, and you'll have that data and that access all the way through next season. So don't just listen to the experts. Why not be an expert yourself by signing up? It is a limited time offer, 40% off. I think it's going to end probably 1st of June, first week of July sort of thing. Sorry, not first week of June, that's gone. First week of July. And as you can see there, if you're watching on YouTube, there's amazing stuff. Full player and team Opta data for Euro 24, expert team reveals and strategy, exclusive data analysis articles, updated team lineups and set piece takers, £500 cash prize for the mini league winners, sortable fixture difficulty ticker. It's basically everything you need to know everything you need to know to get the best score ever. And if you get access to this and you're still rubbish at fantasy, then join the club. Right, let's have a look at this. So, let's just get rid of the right thing. Let's have a look at this. So this is what we're going to assume. As you can see on screen if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to assume that this is the knockout draw. This is based on predicted standings and kind of current standings. This is the most likely outcome. And I'll just read it to you because it's going to be useful to do that, but also for you listening on audio podcast. On the left-hand side of the draw, and by the way, this has turned out pretty well for England, but on the left-hand side of the draw, there is Spain versus Slovakia. There is Germany versus Denmark. There is Portugal versus Hungary. And there is France versus Romania. That is the left-hand side of the draw. The right-hand side of the draw, you've got Belgium versus Serbia, is that? Oh, crikey. This is where my flags... There's a bunch of flags that are the same, isn't it? Belgium versus someone. It's Austria versus Turkey. It's England versus Holland. So that's going to be a tricky fixture for us, but if we get through, it might be all right. And it's Switzerland versus Italy. So you'll notice straight away that on the other side of the draw to England, Spain, Germany, Portugal, and France. We can't meet any of those teams now, if it ends up like this, until the final. So that is going to be pretty... the draw's opened up for us once again, hasn't it? I'm sure we'll find a way of completely messing that up. But anyway, so England, if they beat Holland, the Netherlands, in this round of 16, they could then face Italy or Switzerland. And then if they win that, they face either Turkey, Austria, Serbia or Slovakia, whichever one that is. I need to find that out. Or Belgium. And then in the final, of course, we could face France, Portugal, Germany, Spain, or, well, any of the ones on the left. But I'm going to pick my team based on this being correct. And obviously little things will change, but the basics are there, right? And remember, as I said in the intro, in our wildcard teams for the knockout stage, your budget's 105 million now, so you can afford better players. But also, we get to pick 4 players from each team. So, with this in mind, with this draw as set as the template for what's going to happen, let's have a look at who I've picked. Yes, welcome back. So, look, this is the team I've currently got. I've put this together pretty quickly. It's quite loose at the moment because obviously we want to lock in that draw and who's going to be playing who in the knockouts. That's a very important thing to know, obviously. And the thing to keep in mind with this team is the team we pick now, particularly if you haven't got any chips left, like me, this is a team that needs to take you through the rest of the tournament. So you've got to be picking from teams that you think are going to go through. Because, it'll be a disaster, wouldn't it, if this team, I'm going to read it out in a minute if you're listening on podcast, but, if Germany, Portugal and France got knocked out in the round of 16, I'm stuffed, right? So you've got to be careful at this point in the tournament. This is the risk that I was willing to take, and lots of people were willing to take, to use their chips in the group stages for that upside that I never seem to get anyway. But anyway, to use the chips in the group stage so that the price you pay for that is that now we've got no chips left to clear up any damage that's done by teams being knocked out. But let me read it. So, front three, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo. 5 in midfield, Musiala, De Bruyne, Fabian Ruiz, Fernandes, and Baumgartner. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but anyway, it's funny. Back 5 of Carvajal, Guehi, Koundé, Mittelstadt, and Fez. And then in goal, Castells and Pickford. Now, a few things to note. You'll see that the players largely I've picked from, the teams I've picked from are the big teams. They're the teams you expect to win in those games. Because if we actually, in the round of 16, if we actually look at the knockout stage again, let me just bring it up here. So, it is projected that England are going to play Holland. Now, that's actually a tricky game, and England have been woeful so far. But I've backed them. I've got triple England, I've got no Holland. You see, it would be a bit of a strange thing to go triple England and triple Holland, because one of them is going to get knocked out, and you're going to be stuffed, and you're going to have to make 3 transfers just to remove those players. Now, it is worth saying, actually, we get more transfers per match day from now on, and it goes up and up and up. In fact, I don't actually know off the top of my head, so while I do this, I'm going to start searching, and I will let you know in a minute how many we get. But as you'll see, as I said, I've gone triple England, hoping that if we get the Netherlands, which is still up for debate, but it's the most likely scenario, I think it's been given a 65% chance, I saw something on Twitter, that we're going to have Holland. That is a tricky game, but I'm backing England to go through. Even though England have been so poor, we're pretty good defensively in this tournament, aren't we? We don't really look like conceding goals. The only goal we've conceded has been a speculative shot from outside the box from Denmark in the Denmark game that was a 1 in 1,000 of going in, and it did. So, our problem is our attack that doesn't seem to be clicking, and, whatever. We've gone through top of the group, but it has been very, very, very poor. So I've gone triple England. I've also gone, well, let's have a look. I've gone double Portugal, double France, triple Belgium. Let's talk about that. Triple Belgium. So I've gone triple Belgium, because of the pricing points. So Wout Fez is £4 million and he's starting. Even though you get a budget of 105 million now, it is still worth getting those bargains. You can see I've got Mittelstadt as well, because they play for big teams that you think are going to go through. I mean, Belgium have Slovenia. By the way, it was a Slovenia flag that I didn't recognise before. Belgium are going to have Slovenia, who obviously got a point against England to go through. So you expect them to win. So I've got Castells the keeper. I've got Wout Fez, so I'm going double defence, hoping Slovenia don't score. And then I've got Kevin De Bruyne in midfield currently. Now, could Lukaku come in at some point, instead of Ronaldo or something? Potentially. Before the deadline, I'll make that change. Obviously, Lukaku's is $1 million cheaper than Ronaldo. And also, we haven't seen Belgium's third game yet. That is happening tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they suddenly click into gear. I know they won 2-0 in their last game with De Bruyne scoring. And it's just one of those teams that doesn't seem to have... No one does, really. Seems to have clicked into gear. I know Spain have, I suppose. But it's been an odd tournament, hasn't it? None of the strikers you expect to be scoring are doing much. Mbappe hasn't scored. Harry Kane scored 1, but England have been woeful. Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't scored. Lukaku hasn't scored. Who would have thought that at the start of the tournament? What odds would you have got on that? It's absolutely crazy. By the way, I've got the numbers here on how many people you can transfer, or how many transfers you get per round. I think I've got it here somewhere. Why doesn't it say? Okay, back to the drawing board. I'll find that somewhere else. Look, let's carry on. So I've gone for double Spain. Now, double Spain, obviously Spain have really impressed, haven't they? They've been the most impressive team this tournament. Fabian Ruiz has looked really good. Carvajal at the back has obviously scored. He's not a goal scorer, but he did score. He scored in the Champions League final, then he scored in the Euros for Spain. Carvajal at the back, so you've got their defence covered. It's an interesting one, isn't it? If we look back at the draw, Spain have Slovakia. Or probably have Slovakia in the knockouts, and whoever wins that in the next game, the quarterfinals, will have Germany or Denmark. You presume Germany, so you'd think your Spain assets are pretty safe for that to get through the round of 16. You then have to consider, okay, if they play Germany, who's going to go through that, and that's going to be a 50-50 sort of match. And the quarterfinals, by the way, is when it's going to start getting really tricky on who to back and who not to back, particularly with no chips left to, as I said, clean up the mess. Because the quarterfinals on the left-hand side of the draw could be Germany, Spain in one of them, and Portugal, France in another. And you're going to have to pick one or the other to back. Otherwise, it's just going to, you can't. I mean, say Portugal play France in the quarterfinals. Say that happens. Do you go triple Portugal and triple France? Do you just go triple Portugal? Do you just go triple France? Because if you say went triple Portugal and triple France, and then one of them's obviously going to get knocked out, you've already had to kind of allocate 3 transfers to clearing up that mess. And then on the other side of the draw, the most likely quarterfinal on one side is probably Belgium versus Austria. Now, I doubt many people, to be fair, have Austria players, but I've actually got Bumgardner, or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Surely it's not Bumgardner. I'm pretty certain it's not that, but I'm going to call him that anyway. And then on the other side, it will be England, Italy. So again, you're going to have to make a call. By the way, I'm just completely assuming England are going to beat the Netherlands, which is ridiculous because I could totally see us losing that. So maybe it'll be Netherlands, Italy. Maybe we'll get put. Maybe in the round of 16, England will get put out of their misery, and this hope. It's the hope that kills you, right? We'll suddenly realise we're out, and it'll be Holland or Netherlands, versus Italy. So look, it's tricky. Let's bring my team back up. So I've got double Germany, Musiala, who's had a great tournament, hasn't he? Such quick feet, amazing, and Mittelstadt. So I've got their defence covered. I've got Musiala again. They're playing Slovenia. They are playing Denmark. Probably, and you'd hope Germany. I mean, they've looked good, they've looked convincing. They're at home. I know they drew their last game, but they rested a few players. Oh no, they didn't rest anyone actually, did they? But they were already through, so maybe they took their foot off the gas a bit. So I've got Musiala and I've got Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt bargain to make that 105 million stretch far enough to get players like De Bruyne, who's in my team currently. You need to be picking your Mittelstadts and your Wout Fezzes and that lot. So yeah, Spain, double Spain, Portugal. I've got Ronaldo and Fernandes at the moment. I haven't got Cancelo. Maybe I should consider him. But if we go back to the draw again, Portugal have got Hungary most probably. I imagine that would be quite a tight game. Maybe I should get a Portuguese defender actually. But you'd expect Portugal to go through, even in Euro 2020, or that was played in 2021, when Hungary drew with France, they drew with Germany, I think, but Portugal beat them. I think that's right. You'd back Portugal there. Again, I haven't yet seen the third game for Portugal. It's happening tonight, so I'm looking forward to seeing that, and maybe that will change some of my decisions there. But at the moment, Ronaldo and Fernandes. In terms of France, obviously, as I said, they've got Romania. You'd expect them to be big favourites for that. And Mbappe hasn't done anything yet. He's got his special mask, but maybe that's going to be the game where he explodes into life and scores a hat-trick or something. So I've got Mbappe in my team. I've got Koundé to have their defence covered. You'd expect, again, it's a game that you could think they're going to get a clean sheet. But the issue, of course, is going to come at the quarterfinals, where if they face Portugal, who do you then back? And say France and Portugal go through. In my draft, that means, great, Mbappe's still in the competition, Koundé's still in the competition, Ronaldo's still in the competition, Bruno Fernandes is still in the competition, but then they play each other. So there's all sorts of things that you need to be thinking about, the next steps. Should I only go one Portugal because I know they're going to be playing France in the next round? There's all sorts of tactics that we can bring into play here. In terms of Harry Kane, obviously I know England haven't been great, but Harry Kane is a goal scorer. I think last Euros when we did really well, or was it even the World Cup? I think it was the Euros. Harry Kane didn't score in the group stages at all, so he's actually got one more goal than he did last time. But then in the knockouts, he went bang, 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 and got 3 or 4. He scored against Germany, didn't he? That was the first goal he scored in the tournament, I think, when we beat Germany 2-0. But then he obviously went on to be Harry Kane, and we know what he does when he gets the chances. It's just we're just waiting, aren't we, for our England attack to click into gear, really, and actually do something decent. And then just, I've got Bumgardner, as I said, again, pretty certain that's not how you say it, but I've got Bumgardner. Why? Well, I mean, he had a great match day too. I think he got 11 points, scored a goal. He In match day 3, he came off the bench for 23 minutes and got an assist. So I just think I'm going to watch that because I don't want him to be benched again. But he does seem to be a player that really makes an impact for them when he plays, and a player that is 6.5 million, and that was the budget I had for 2 slots, and I filled it with Fabian Ruiz, who's looked great for Spain, and Spain have looked great, and Baumgartner. So yeah, 6.5 million pound midfielders. Again, that could change. Backing Austria, am I just banking a transfer I'm going to have to make when they go out? They've got Turkey. I mean, Austria have looked good, so I think they'll beat Turkey. But then the next round, they may face Belgium. But to be honest, I could see Austria beating Belgium. So, maybe having an Austria player, just in case they start, they really turn it on and get through to the semis or something, maybe it's worth... having a player from that team. Now, let's just quickly go through the teams on here that I haven't actually picked any players from, and let's see. Let's have a think. Am I making any mistakes? So I haven't got any Slovakian players against Spain. Could Slovakia beat Spain? Of course they could. Anything can happen, right? And knowing this tournament so far and my luck in it so far, I think that probably will happen. But I'm sure it won't. So look, Slovakia, I've got no players. Denmark, I've got no players. They're playing the host Germany. I just can't see Denmark beating Germany in Germany. Hungary are playing Portugal. Could I see Hungary beating Portugal? Yeah, I could actually. I could see that happening. Is it likely? No. You've just got to go with the odds, haven't you? France, Romania. Again, surely France is going to go through. So I haven't got any Romania players. I haven't got any Hungary players. Haven't got any Slovenian players. Haven't got any Turkish players. Maybe a Turkish player is one you might consider. They're playing Austria. They could beat Austria. They'd then been through to the next round where they could play Belgium. Could Turkey beat Belgium? Of course they could. And they've got, Arda Güler at 6 million. Maybe I should have him just in case they go on a run. Could he be a really good option? Of course, another element to... Well, hang on, I'll just finish this and then I'll say that. Holland, I haven't got any Netherlands players. Why? Because they're playing England and I've got to back one of them. I'm going to back England. And then I haven't got any Switzerland players who are playing Italy. In fact, I haven't got any Italian players yet. So maybe I need to get an Italian player as well. So those are some things to consider. Another aspect to this is... Let me just close that and open this. Another aspect to this is because we don't know the draw yet, we don't know the dates yet, everyone's going to be playing. So on the game, you can't kind of set up the team correctly. You can't put the people playing last on the bench and you can't put your captain on the player for the first day. I haven't even gone through and worked out whether I've got a captain for every day. So as soon as the group stages wrap up, there's a couple of days break, isn't there? Thursday, Friday, there's no games. And then Saturday's the next deadline for the knockouts. And at that point... You're hoping, well, I'm sure the game will be updated with the dates for each game, for each player, and we'll be able to check things like, have we got a captain for each day? Have we got, the starting lineup and the bench sorted out correctly? Things like that. So this is a very loose first draft. Please let me know who I should be including, who I'm overlooking. Put your drafts below, and I'll see which bits I want to copy from them. But I need a good knockout stage. This number below my head, which is the rank 436k, it's actually worse than that now. I just didn't update it. I think it's like 700k I am now. Really, really bad. Although I've got 3 players playing tonight, hopefully, so maybe I'll go up a little bit. I think I'm going to captain Kevin De Bruyne. I haven't nailed a captaincy yet this match day. So yeah, it just hasn't really gone my way so far this tournament. I haven't made any bad picks, I don't think. The 50-50 calls haven't gone well, and the big punts and the kind of the differentials I made and the big players, the kind of heavy hitters haven't been performing really. Kane hasn't done much, Mbappe hasn't done much, Ronaldo hasn't done much. Bruno Fernandes scored 1, didn't he? But that was the week I didn't have him, of course. So yeah, a bit of a funny one. It's interesting because before I chose my chip strategy of using all the chips in the group stage, my first kind of draft videos before I'd worked that out was just saying Pickford is a must and England defence is a must. Get double England defence. I was right, 2 clean sheets, but I didn't do it myself, which is ridiculous, isn't it? Thus it ever will be. It always works like that, doesn't it? So look, I'll read it one more time for podcast listeners. I'm pretty certain this is going to change after I see the last match day 3 games for some of these teams, and as we get close to the deadline, and as we see the dates they're going to play, so that making sure you have a captain, etc., etc. But currently it's Kane, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Musiala, De Bruyne, Ruiz, Fernandes, and Baumgartner. Again, apologies to the Baumgartner family for mispronunciation to the nth degree. Defence, Carvajal, Guehi, Koundé, Mittelstadt, and Fez. And then in goal, Pickford and Castells. And of course, as I said, this will change because I might just find out Pickford and Castells. 2 keepers are playing on the same day or something. In which case, obviously, that needs to change. But look, It's an interesting one to keep an eye on. It's an interesting one I'd love to see some of your and hear some of your drafts, given the information we've currently got. I'd love to see what you're thinking. So please do comment below. The things that I'm considering changing about this team already, as I've been speaking, is should I have a Turkish player, maybe an Arda Güler instead of a Baumgartner? Maybe he's only 6 million, and obviously he's already scored this tournament, and Turkey could do quite well. So is that a good kind of little punt to have in case Turkey go quite far? And then the other thing I'm thinking is, should I have any Italian players? I currently have none. So should I get at least one, a DiMarco or a Jorginho even, for 5 million, just to save some money somewhere, just in case they go far in the tournament. I think the projected knockout, the route to the final for Italy, they'd come across England in the quarters, so that would be an interesting game as well. But look, thank you very much. Please do like and subscribe, like the stream. If you're listening on podcast, leave a review, a 5-star review. That would be really appreciated. And please do put your drafts in the comments below. I will be in those comments replying. And I'm sure I've missed out something obvious. So please do let me know, because I need all the help I can get. Because I'm in a league with 2 friends that is the mini league I need to win, and I'm currently bottom. So there we go. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.